Take in these fantastic views of an extraterrestrial environment on planet Earth. View UFO flying and changing forms. See this interdimensional environment that we move within. Are we cyborg human? See what we really look like, and come to your own conclusion. And finally, see for the first time the horizon line or the firmament. Here is one of the most common shapes of the entity that I have observed. They move at a rate of speed that our eyes cannot capture. We may only register a black dot that flickered, and what happens next is that we dismiss it to be whatever your conscience senses have accepted to be, and then we move on to whatever we were during. Start observing your surroundings, become aware. What you are hearing is the actual sounds made by the entity. Lower the speed of your footage to -30 or less to capture the sounds. A weird, shaped entity popped out in this area. Follow the location line and see how it interfaced with its own environment within our environment, and we humans in the area visually saw nothing and heard nothing. I only saw this event when I reviewed the footage and tracked down the instance. Now, in this view, the leaves on foliage are one of the areas that these entities are gathered in large numbers. They project themselves to be daylight peeping through the leaves on a tree. Only the white tip is visible and most of the time has a light at the protruding tip. These entities lasso themselves underneath the leaves with a black cord or string-like structure. Keep watching to see what the tree structure looks like in this interdimensional environment. How amazing was that? The next highlight is a view of the open sky. Nothing was visible except the rays from the sun. See what made an appearance that I was unaware of until I reviewed the footage. As I reviewed the footage, I only saw a blink, but when I slowed the footage down, 3 spacecrafts came into view, and as you will see, they just moved in a line to their destination. On this occasion I was recording at night, and my first thought when I saw this in the viewer was that the object was a copy of planet Earth. I'm sure the entity got a big laugh out of that thought. Anyway, take in the magnificent views captured. The U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Accountability heard explosive testimony. Graves testified that he had a pilot tell him he almost hit a UAP during takeoff. One of these objects was completely stationary. It was right where all the jets were going on the eastern seaboard. The two aircraft flew within 50 feet of the object. Upon talking to the pilot after he landed, Graves said he found him with his mouth open and that the pilot told him that he almost hit one of those darn things. Graves said the pilot described the object as a dark cube inside of a clear sphere. So, with that said, here it is folks, the object that was described in testimony to the Oversight Committee. Our skies are composed of a humongous infrastructure that we have called noise, yes noise. In reality, it is this huge biomechanical structure across the sky on planet Earth. Back in 1954, the Catholic Church and the US government came across a document called the Angel Scrolls, similar to the Dead Sea Scrolls. This document talked about biomechanical humans. How does this revelation coincide with what I have been showing you in my content? We can only make sense of this reality through collaboration. So far I am collaborating with myself, people are afraid to comment. Go figure. This next observation is two baby squirrels playing in a tree. Just sit back and take in the beautiful colors. I have noticed that foliage in this environment release waves of vibrations. The squirrels show no deviations of their playful activities as they move through the dimensional environment. As you take in this view, think about the activities happening to the fruits and vegetables we consume. View my documentation titled UFOs Are Here. This content will provide in-depth details relating to the foliage on planet Earth. In this view, you can actually see inside of the tree branches and limbs. Wow! This is an area that many entities are in what I call stasis or inactive. This luminous white entity is a home port, a staging area for thousands of these spacecrafts. This staging entity is located in adjacent to street light fixtures and adjacent to any outdoor lighting apparatus used in that environment, for example a pole light fixture erected on your property, and house light fixtures. I have captured many events around this entity, and this is a new event captured. Here the speed is 100% as recorded, so keep your eyes open, they are during some fast flying at times. In this highlight footage, you can clearly see undeniable proof that these entities rest underneath the leaves, showing only the white tips of the entity and look. You can also see the black rope-like structure that is securing the entity. Also, what I observed was the branches and what is on them. Attached to a branch is about 5 individual objects that are support adapters of many shapes and sizes, all miniature. One of these objects unclamped from the limb and floated off into what appeared to be anti-gravity space. Then all of a sudden on the side that was visible to me, a mosquito-like miniature wing popped out and started flapping, propelling it to the destination. These are not insect flying, they are spacecrafts. These entities can elongate their size and change shapes quicker than instantly. I will flag the locations before the appearance, allowing you to get the maximum visualization. Now that you understand what noise is, observe this scene. Noise is a humongous stencil sheet of biomechanical structures that are moving faster than any measurement devices used by humans. The 4 ray beams projected from this stationary entity is doing something. In other publications, this entity appears to be powering up, showing thrust vapors being expelled all around the area, producing a smoky scene. I observed this entity until the break of daylight, and something amazing occurred. It changed shapes and shrunk down in size, and then all of a sudden it disappeared, but it was still there, just invisible. This is just a highlight of what I have observed. View my publications to see close-up details of activities surrounding this entity if you want to see the facts. So, get ready to view an out-of-this-world amazing event. This luminous staging portal entity expelled what appeared to be a long silvery string of something. The activity resembled a spider web being blown from a spider. Take in these views. Amazing, it appears that this is a line of spacecrafts being launched from this humongous spacecraft staging portal. As you saw earlier, these spacecrafts interface within their environmental infrastructure, moving in and out of different areas as it connects at every movement. And folks, we connect to this dimensional infrastructure the same way. We are always connected, always. This is what you saw. This view will put into perspective what I have tried to explain to you, which is that every movement is connecting always, even as things fly in what we call the sky. Here our focus location will be the yellow rim above the entity to identify the distance traveled and the path that it moved through within the infrastructure, showing the connections it made. Now, take in this view of the entity, it changes shape instantly, in a blink of the eye. Observe the machinery on the sheets, you can only imagine what is happening. If you did not realize it, this is the sky or space. This event was recorded 16 feet from the entity at eye level. Yeah, it looks like something you may see in a sci-fi outer space movie. Here is the next visible view that you saw. Notice that I said the next visible view. It's because there were many that you did not see visually because of the speed at which this entity was moving, even though I slowed this footage down. Follow my content and get a step-by-step rendering of the entire movement. Now, take a close look at this capture. Every rendering allows more clarity and will enlighten your perception of this reality. Quite futuristic, wouldn't you agree? Well, there is more. This next picture is accepted by humans as a bird flying, or better a seagull flying. That may be true based on our limited visual perception. Now let me show you what is really in this picture, and you decide for yourself if it is a bird. Let's take a look. Oh, these are pictures that have the capabilities to show you the moving activities captured within the picture. How could that be possible? I don't know, but here it is. Take notice. The dark area trailing the bird entity is the flight path it took as it flew through the dimensional infrastructure. We will take a closer look at the infrastructure and the flight path. Just a reminder, you are looking at the sky. Yes, the sky. This is the humongous infrastructure that is the heaven, the firmament. This is the infrastructure that generates climate events around the planet, and if you are interested, check out my undisputable content showing these machines blowing clouds into the atmosphere and creating hailballs. You heard it, hailballs. Keep watching and put the pieces together yourself after you see the crystal clear, undeniable footage later in this presentation. Viewing this image, one may wonder, how deep is the firmament? I would tell you that there is no limit to the depth, no limit. I have counted 7 levels of dimensions. As you take in views from this image, you may be wondering, what are those cylindrical objects? This may surprise you, they are not weapons, they are force field, yes, a force field technology that generate a cylinder container as clear as glass. Inside this force field, pebbles of all colors and shapes are contained. The many color pebbles were created at the horizon line as it interfaced with the ocean waters. Don't believe me about the force field? The detailed proof is documented in my earlier content. View my YouTube channel. Keep watching this highlight until the end and see for yourself how the many colored pebbles are processed and moved through this structure that we call the sky and judge for yourself. Get ready to view more clear and undeniable images that will show the truth. By the way, those white areas here are the clouds. Focus on the machines that generate this misty substance we call clouds. The year 2024 is said to be the year of amazing revelations, the unveiling of what we call secrets about our planet, us humans, the cosmos, and many other revelations that are beyond our comprehension. Everything that has been hidden for millennium from mankind is what you are starting to see in my presentations. Now, we get to see this futuristic environment, and the next step is logically to collaborate in order to understand what this all means and how is this interfacing with climate events on Earth. And most importantly, what changes are occurring in humans. Are we being upgraded? Or is this human/UFO connections the normal? It appears that this connection contributes to our life processing activities and our existence. In my documented observation, it showed that these entities appear to be constructed from the same building blocks as us humans, or should I turn that around and say we are constructed from the same building blocks as the entities? And when I say building blocks, the actual construction of us resembles blocks connecting to other blocks that eventually build the organs, bone, veins, arteries, and all the features of the human body. We are something amazing. I call it cyborg, a machine with a skin suit called human that contains all the body parts contained within. This human suit covers our true identification. The human suit is projected from the building block structure, which is a lot of biomechanical objects. Keep watching and see for yourself. On the beach, I observed this entity embedded onto the human arm and hand area. Many of you may say, that is a sunspot. Well, that may be what we call it, but it is not a sunspot, people. Here you never walk out of the visibility of the sunspot, it continues to be present as you move forward. Take a note, this is the same activity shown when a streak of white light crossed the human body, the streak stays on that person even while moving. Also, this streak hit me while sitting in a car going 60 miles per hour, and it stayed on me for a long time. Based on 3 years of observation, I have come to the conclusion that this may be a form of examining humans. Here, take in the sky or the firmament or the heavens, the ocean, water, and man. The hidden structures revealed are shocking to digest. And why not show you the shocking reality of whom or what we are? This is us, the human. Now, let's take a closer look at this amazing view inside the body of this individual. I did not recognize anything as being a part of our human anatomy. So, in this highlight, do you recognize any human body organs that look like what we perceive them to look like? In this area of the human body, I am always looking for a heart, lungs, rib cage, or something recognizable, and every rendering resulted in what you see here. And there's more. We are connected to slats as well. This is a form of gravity that everything is clamped down onto. It also appears that the shape of our image is projected from objects on the surface slats that look like pegs on a pegboard, if you can picture that. Better yet, check out my video content and see for yourself. Meanwhile, take in this amazing view of who you are. If you want to see further details of this highlight, view my documentary UFOs Are Here. How picturesque and beautiful is this scenery? As with everything, there are more unseen images. Now, keep watching to see what revelations are exposed to mankind. As you glance over the water and view as far as the eye will allow you to see, no one ever thinks about the firmament and the ocean. We become relaxed and soothed by the experience of feeling the sun rays, hearing the sounds of the seagulls, tasting the salt from the sprays of water carried by the winds and more, and never ever realizing anything other than what is visible. Now see what the universe is now trying to expose to us humans. Mankind, what you are viewing is the firmament, the heavens, the sky meeting the ocean, as mentioned in many history books that have never ever showed you this process. Now, for the first time on this planet, you will see this process where the firmament hovers over the ocean, water, and land. Here, you will see the firmament sucking up water from the ocean through a humongous underwater infrastructure that appears to be filtrating the water before entry into the firmament biomechanical infrastructure and more. Keep watching. We have been told that our body's sustainability is the water that we contain. The human body is made up of a significant amount of water, with the average adult body containing 50 to 60% water by weight, or roughly 45 quarts. The percentage of water in the body varies by age and gender, with newborns containing around 80% water and men containing slightly more water than women. Different parts of the body also contain different amounts of water, with the brain and heart containing 73%, the lungs containing 83%, muscles and kidneys containing 79%, skin containing 64%, and bones containing 31%. Water is essential for the body's function, helping to regulate body temperature, maintain muscles, lubricate joints, prevent constipation, flush out waste products, carry nutrients to cells, and protect organs and tissues. It also helps maintain the right balance of water and salt in the body, and acts as a shock absorber to protect bones and tissues. According to Mitchell and others, 1945, the brain and heart are composed of 73% water, and the lungs are about 83% water. The skin contains 64% water, muscles and kidneys are 79%, and even the bones are watery, 31%. This makeup of our watery bodies somehow enables compatibility with these entities. You can clearly see the underwater infrastructure. Pay attention to how humans interface with the underwater vast infrastructure. Oh, by the way, the infrastructure is moving at a fast speed, also passing by the humans in the water, connecting at every movement. Think about this: a physical intrusive examination was conducted on a pregnant lady who was walking and holding her phone with both hands. A streak of white light crossed over her body and the lower part of her baby bump. Fluids were extracted from her baby bump and elbow into what appeared to be alien-like petri dishes, and the exam was performed before the lady could put her foot forward to make the next step. That is just how fast the exam took. And to make it more alarming, the lady had no idea that she had been examined, and she showed no irritation or awareness of the incident at all. So, apply that knowledge to the views that you see here, when you see the water infrastructure connect to humans. Again, see the documentary UFOs Are Here to see more than a highlight. This image here of the ferment show you in real time exactly what is happening during the extraction or sucking up of ocean water. Remember, this is the sky that you are viewing. For 3 years, I have published clear and undisputable content. Check it out, it is true and real. Here is the ferment and the infrastructure that populate this surface. I want you to focus on the very bottom of the structure that meets slightly above the ocean. Here activities will blow your mind. The processing here create pebbles that I call power pebbles of many colors and sizes, which means something. These pebbles are visualized and seen everywhere throughout all of my publications. I also concluded earlier, like a year ago, that these pebbles are the source of power for the flying entities. So, what I want you to realize is that the images that you see of the sky are derived from the ferment. The ferment creates and processes all of the materials contained in the sky views and our local atmosphere. Next, view pictures that I captured from the video footage that you just viewed. See close up what activities are being carried out in real time. Yes, see the activities that were being performed at the time I captured the snapshot. Hey, the objects on the pictures can move, showing unseen up-close details of how the power pebbles are created, colored, and sent to the next process. Amazing. How amazing is it to see the horizon line? Did you ever expect to see that reality in your lifetime? I sure didn't. So, these highlights of the ferment, or you may want to call it the horizon line, again show you a clear, undisputable view of what is in the sky of planet Earth. This structure is all over the cosmos. Now, focus in on the biomechanical machines that are lined up across the bottom of the ferment before it meets the ocean. Here you will get an idea of how this structure processes water into pebbles of many colors and witness the movement of the amazing futuristic infrastructure in full work mode. And, by the way, this is a picture showing movement activity as I zoom in. Wow! Your footage may have the same capabilities. What do we know about the moon? Well, the moon is Earth's only natural satellite. It orbits at an average distance of 384,400 kilometers, about 30 times the diameter of Earth. Over time, Earth's gravity has caused tidal locking, causing the same side of the moon to always face Earth. Wikipedia. Distance to Earth, 238,900 miles. Orbital period, 27 days. Gravity, 1.62 meters per square second. Radius, 1,079.6 miles. Age, 4.53 billion years. Let's concentrate on the age of the moon, being 4.53 billion years old. Okay, so does that insinuate that this infrastructure that you are viewing now is the same age, since the moon is also connected to surface slats in this cosmos? Check out my publications and come to your own determination. So, right now, take a look at some of the highlights captured of the moon. So, as you view the moon, the stuff surrounding it looks mysterious. Remember what scientists told us about the haze surrounding the moon? I think they told us that this was dust, yes, dust. Well, let me show you what is really in the image. It is another humongous biomechanical infrastructure, similar to the sky-atmosphere environment on Earth. Let's look around. Conclusion: for the last year I have been telling Millennium and Gen Z that I will hand over to them my observations. Here's why. There has been many archaeological discoveries of the century about our existence, and many have been illegally spirited out of the country of origin and never to be seen again, and most of the government's findings have been hidden away and kept from being circulated among the population because of what? I know for a fact UFOs are here on planet Earth. My personality has not changed. I am just fine. I haven't gone crazy, and I am not plucking my hair out or walking around dazed. Haven't we been sending messages into outer space for decades? Now the message has been acknowledged, the information is being withheld. I am very excited about the revelations that I have observed. This is the human ascension, folks. If my content resonated with you and your interest, subscribe and support my channel. The spirit and hope lie with our younger generation. With the exposure of heavenly matters to humankind, it could add dramatically to our understanding of everything we have questions about. Would you agree?